The first time is for Anilman Damaskio. Time is yours.
Thank you, the moderator, and all the good morning to all the colleagues, and as well as all the audiences here, very lovely audiences who has been eager to learn new things in your life. Well, this conference is all about how we are going to put all those ideas into practice, as the moderator has just mentioned. And when we talk about addressing human crisis, that is something very close to us, I guess. But when we talk about a human crisis, so what kind of crisis we are really talking about? In these days, we have a crisis which is created by what we call is political crisis. And then it's really affect every walk of life. We have a crisis which is created by the overconsumptions. And that's what we are really facing, for example, environment crisis, the ecological crisis. So these days when we talk, when we have a conversation between each other, it was not like before. Before we never regard one of the issue of environment, ecology as a part of our crisis. There's a plenty. But now, with the overgrown populations and overconsumptions, we are finding that our environment is depleting, our environment is a crisis. And then everyone is trying to find who is the cause. And then look here and there, and then we become the cause of those planet destructions. So we are the planet, is not only creator, we are a destroyer of the planet itself. And that is the only home. So this is another very global crisis. And of course, in our crisis of spirituality, crisis of religion, that is another very, very big issue at this moment. Because with the new generations, what we call is Gen Z or Gen Z or Gen Alpha, all these people came with all these gadgets. So they are native, what we call is digital, native to digital. And whereas we don't know, when we get a new phone, we don't know how to use it. We have to go and ask our grandson and granddaughter how they use it. So this is something what will happen. And then with these new generations, what we find our society is not like before. Because their society is totally different. Their bringing up is totally different. In old days, we might come and talk face to face, but these days, even the brother, even the father and mother, or even the father and their children, they are contacting through lines. They are contacting through all the social media. If you want to call your daughters to come and have a dinner, no. Old days you will go and bang, or come and daughter, and you fetch, but now, no, line. You fetch WhatsApp. You fetch all those things. So this is the way the society has changed. So how do we relate ourselves to these kind of changes? So that's why I think this topic, what you have organized, is very, 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 very timely as redefining the role of religion. As a religion, we can confine within the temple, within the mosque, within the church, within our own home. The religion something is actually, it is a root of who we are. So therefore, I guess it is our honest effort we need to put it on that how we communicate with our future generations. And how do we communicate all the good messages, what we got in our religion, to those people in the young generations. Because young generation, they have own society, they have their own social grouping. So they won't listen to the religious leader these days. The society has changed to more diverse, to be more pluralism. In old days, we have very certain group, but now everything is pluralism, everything is a diversity. In front of those diversity and pluralism, how can we develop the idea of living together in tolerance? How do we make sure that things move in harmony? So therefore, I guess, as a part of religious effort, we have to address those issues. What's going on in the planet, what's going on in the carbon neutrality, which is not a religious issue, but now it's become a religious issue as well, because the air we are breathing in is polluted. So whose responsibility is that? It is not only government. It is every individual's responsibility. So the scope of religion, I guess, we have to expand, not in the boundary of the church, temple, mosque, but we have to go beyond that and then address the human crisis. When natural disaster happen, you can't just rely on the government. In my own life, when in Thailand, there was a flooding in Bangkok in 2015, the great flooding in Bangkok. And what happened is that there is one very big Muslim community in the suburb of Bangkok. And what government was doing is that they are just, giving all the flood relief just like everyone. So what the Muslim got is that they got pig, the oil made of the pig, the pork pig, oil. They got all non-halal food. And the government is just doing one kind of, they don't have to kind of customize who they are. And then I was the one of the group, they are distributing and going to all those places. And then those Muslim brothers came to ask me that, is there anything you can do for us? Because nobody's providing us a halal food. But whatever government give, we can't use it, so we are giving to our neighbors, but we don't have anything. So I said that, okay, I will do that. So I called to my friends, organization in Malaysia, so that, we need something for all the Muslim friends. And from Malaysia, I got a whole trucks and trucks from the halal food. And I went to the Muslim community and then distribute. So this is not kind of religious idea, you see. Humanitarian shouldn't be a religious bias. So we have to have these kind of things. Earthquake or natural disasters, we have to be there. We just said that is a government, that is a Red Cross, so you have in Buddhist, in Indonesia, I said that there's a Suci, is a big organization. Again, we have to go beyond our religions. So that's why I think the future of our society, the role of our religious leaders is that not only looking at the spirituality, not looking at their mind in kind of praying so that you can be peace, but how do we live in peace? Or even the phrase I like, which a Western doesn't take it, is a rest in peace. Because when the Western takes a rest in peace, it is too late. Because you are in the graveyard and then for sure you are resting in peace. But we have to revive that idea of resting in peace in our daily life, in daily time, that you can sit here and just rest in peace without any threaten, fear from religious, from economic, from poverty, from all those things. And that is the responsibility, not belong to a particular group or religions or political or economic society, but it is as who we are. We have to build our own world. We have to build our own life. And this is, as a religious leader, we have to act and broaden the idea. Thank you.
Silakan.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Ega Rusanti from Universitas Erlangga. It's really interesting to hear the religious leader perspective about religion. Is it clear?
Not clear.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay, since we talk about religion, actually is really sensitive and also become a hot issue for a particular person.
Okay.
But sometimes religious become rude and define who we are and also being guides for our life. But somehow, religious also can lead us to become racist, fanatics and so on, and even we can use as a criminal tools and a reason for war. So based on this issue, there is a new trend in our generation, in the Gen Z, that there is a trend that if you want to create and feeling humanity, you have to take your religion attribute off and leave it behind for feeling the humanity as a whole. So I just want to know the perspective of the leadership religion on the stage. What do you think? Is it a good way, or is there something that we have to redefine from this one? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Congress.
Yes, thanks for the very enlightening question. When we talk about the religion, of course, it's very sensitive. But from what sense you are talking about religion? That is a whole on other issues. Religion, you are trying to create as a wall and boundaries and sectarian, or religions, as Professor says, that honoring the whole idea of a human. Of course, what makes us human, there is so many factors make us human as who we are. And I would say that the problem, the crisis which are creating in this world, of course, there are some root come from very, very fanatic, very, very sort of orthodox and steady, using as a religion as a political agenda, I would say that. Religions for their own benefit, certain group, and so and so. So by that kind of religion, whether we are agree to call that is a religion, or that is some kind of a propaganda for your group benefit. Don't forget that. We are in this world. We are here as a social animal. And who become, as I am here as a lecturer, or as a panelist, or as a Buddhist monk, it depends on who I am contacting with. Suddenly, I wouldn't be a Buddhist monk if I didn't have a Buddhist audiences. I wouldn't be a panelist here without all our panel and the audience. If I'm speaking here, just like this I'm speaking, but there is only the chairs who is listening to me, should I call I am a panelist? Of course, by the action, by the function, I might be, but I have to go and end up my life in a mental institution. I can talk to the chairs, not to the human. So who you are, actually, it is created by your functions, it's created by your duty, it is created by your responsibility to others. So the whole idea of religion is that how we make those interaction and relations as a true human. I heard the word in Indonesia, manusia. So I don't know whether you will understand the word manusia as in Indonesia or not. Manusia is a Sanskrit word, okay? And mana, there's two words. There's a mana and usaya. It's a two word. Mana means that the mind, and usaya means that the high. So what makes you manusia is the one who have a very creative and higher mind. What makes you manusia is able to include everyone else which is different from yourself. So only then you become a manusia. Otherwise, we are talking with somebody who is not even worth to be manusia. So if you have to interact with this kind of person, it's hard, of course. It's a sensitive, of course. But we will try our best and see where it goes, where it takes. If we can let them understand that who they are is defined by others. It's defined by the society. It's defined by the other kind of whatever factors, be economic, be social, by whatever. And in that sense, I guess religion plays a great role. I just give a small anecdote. I myself work with the United Nations on the project called Sustainable Development Goals. I guess everyone knows that because that is a global agenda. When I was there in the beginning of this, 2017, it was announced, declared in 2015, and then I was invited as one of the think tank to work on how do we really make these SDGs really work. Because SDG at the moment is goals. And actually, if I tell you, you will be shocked. The chairman of that SDG committee at the UN, he hates religion at the time. He hates religion to the guts. So whoever talked that sustainable development need to be, helped by the religious group or religious idea, and he said, no. The economic development, whatever the country, the national development is nothing to do with religion. And when he heard the word religion, he will just freak out. And I was invited there to convince that very chairman of the SDGs. And in my challenge, I was asked that, please, Venerable, only one favor I would like to ask is that, how can you change this man's mind? And who that was happened to be the chairman of the SDG. And I said similar thing as I have just said it, And then suddenly, he, actually the conference has to be the one whole day. But it just went for a half day because I was giving a very hard questions. I was asking a very hard questions, and then he couldn't answer to me. And he said, well, I think that we have to stop here because I have to take this issue to the even more than higher group. So the whole conference was disrupted because I was talking about religion is a very important foundation for the world development and a sustainable development. If you are talking sustainable development without religion, it will be the unsustainable. You won't sustain at all. So that's why the whole idea of religions has to be human is a priority. And afterworld, the heaven, the hell, you don't know where it is. But right now, we are breathing. Right now, we are living. And when you have a nice food on your table, when you have a nice company, when you have a nice home, that is your first religious priority. And then we have to help each other, one who cannot offer it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for your valuable presentation. Considering the pivotal role of religion and religious leaders, I'm wondering, because looking to the current situation, I see that the establishment of modern state, I see that the role of religious authority is still under government control. So, how should religious leaders do to overcome with that? Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Please. Religious authority in state control.
Well, this is something very sensitive, I would say. In a certain country where we are talking about if it is a very religious extremism, it will be a very difficult question to deal with. But I'm happy that Indonesia is another country in that way. We can speak more openly, I guess. The whole idea of a government is actually to govern, to manage what the people needs, what the voters, if it is a democratic country, is who gave them votes. So their job is to facilitate whatever their population needs. So that is the whole idea of a government. So when we talk about the arrangement, management of the resources for all people, and the thing is that if the management, if the operation is not good, then you will have all this imbalance. So things are not working as they used to be. So you are prioritizing certain group more than the others, and so and so. So the whole idea of a government is that government these days, you can call it a Muslim government, or you can call it Buddhist government, you can call it whatever it is. But it could be just a reflection of the majority of your population. But when you have a policy from the government, you have to think not only Buddhist, not only Muslim, because in one country, it is not only one group. These days, even you say I'm Muslim, you have Buddhist, but inside they might have a different approach, because with the social media these days, religion can be accessed from your home. You don't have to go to the real church. You don't have to go to the Buddhist temple to study religion. The religion is in your bedroom now. The religious text in your pillow now. So in that sense, you can have access to those. So it makes your identity, what is called all this how to live in a plurality and a diversity. So this has become a big issue for this century. So how do we live in pluralism? So the government, as a secular government, its job is that this work well. So even it's a minority has a right. So that's a topic about human rights. It's not only you are the minority here. So the minority has the same right as the majority, as an individual, of course. So therefore, the government way, the policy have to be always kind of overarching, overcovering the whole population, not a certain group of religion or politics, sort of even in politics. So if you have a two-party, for example, I don't know how many party here, and this is a time of the president elections. I'm not sure whether I'm safe to talk about politics or not, but politics is a part of who we are. Anyway, if you have a two-party, So that one party win the government and form the government. So what do you with the rest of the other party? So do you consider rest of the other party who doesn't vote you is your enemy? No, you can't. Once you are in the government, you have to look at every individual, every party in the same level. So this is a perfect government. But of course, this is difficult. And as a part of a religious leader, okay, this is my part now, it's not your part. As a part of religious, when we have access, when we have a chance to talk with this politician, we talk and say that you have to be, sort of holistic approach. You have to think more wider. You can't be a sectarian. You can't be the sort of a group-wise. You can't be a party-wise. But you have to manage the country in a way that everyone who is under the government, who is under the law, same law, have to be treated equally. Whether it can be done or not, that is a part of a true religious man. We have to convince that. Okay? So sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. We have to keep trying and trying and trying until what we get.
See you on another occasion, Bapak Ibu. Well, ladies and gentlemen, since we have arrived to our final agenda, before we have our break, I would like